The 2023 United Nations Climate Change Conference, or COP28, kicks off in Dubai tomorrow. High up on the agenda this year is tackling the use of fossil fuels and lowering carbon emissions, as well as checking in on the progress that has been made on the Paris Agreement. Sari For Change Director Rayana Edwards joins us now. Rayana, good evening to you. Thanks for your time tonight. So interestingly, trade is going to be one of the big focuses for COP28, and in particular, sustainable trade, like what you are involved in. Tell us a little bit more about what you've been doing and why it is you're headlining, if I can put it that way, this year's COP28.
Thank you so much for having me, Kathy. Yes, I think it's high time that trade is part of the climate change conversation, especially because small businesses make up 90% of business as a whole. And as small businesses, we are also championing interventions on how we can challenge and take on the climate challenges head on, affecting communities. In our instance, in the textile and apparel industry, we are using recycled saris to create new garments, whilst ensuring women can move to self-sufficiency in their own spaces in the townships. So not only are we looking at our carbon emissions, carbon footprint in the recycling process, saving on water to reproduce new textiles, but also ensuring that we can have job opportunities and earning potential for women in the industry.
Rayana, when you started this business, you were very concerned about just the number of saris that end up sitting in people's wardrobes not being used, and you found a really meaningful way of repurposing it. Did you ever think that the idea you had as an entrepreneur and somebody who's empowering and upskilling women in the textile space, that you would end up where you are today?
I have to pinch myself, Kathy. This project started in our garage, where in conversation as friends, we decided we wanted to make a difference and how we were going to do this. When we first called out for saris, saris were coming in boxes from every single direction in the country, and our garage space was too small and we had to get in more storage. To date, we have recycled 15,000 saris. And to be sharing our story of what we call the sacred economy, where communities have donated the sari with an intention for us to empower women, has now become a talking point at a summit of this stature is unbelievable. But it shows that alternative models that are creating impact now can have a voice because it's been tried and tested.
What are the expectations on you, Rayana, as you prepare to head off to Dubai over the weekend? You're going to be leading the trade negotiations platform. What is the brief that you've been given?
I think what we're going to be touching on as small businesses is, first of all, sharing our story. And I'm really honored to be presenting and representing South Africa at this level, considering we have 4 other entrepreneurs under the International Trade Center umbrella. It is by their invitation that we speak about what we are doing, but we have businesses from Peru, from Barbados, Egypt and Morocco. So it's 5 of us, and really we're looking at the just transition within small businesses. And this is really understanding what the blueprint looks like for social entrepreneurs and representing the voices of the people that we are working with on the ground. I feel this is a great opportunity for small businesses to really say to the bigger organizations, use us, we are a bridge, so that we can further affect communities in a positive way.
And I love the way that you've touched on the role that social entrepreneurs play in our society as a whole. Of course, a part of the opportunity for impact is also that, you know, with the way that technology has advanced, especially within the textile space, it's not just South Africans that get to enjoy the products you produce, but it really goes to the world.
a really a great way to ensure that there's inclusivity, especially when we're touching on culture and heritage as well, because we all believe we own something because of how who we're born and you know, the culture we come from. But that is also shifting when we look at our youth and us passing the baton to them. Culture is consumed differently now. So again, in my space, Kathy, taking the sari and you being able to wear it so beautifully and proudly as an African woman and queening as such, is a completely different narrative. We live together, we cohabit together. So why can we not be using each other's apparel as an expression of where we come from and who our younger generation and what they're becoming?
South Africa's textile industry, Rayana, has been really going through a difficult time. Not only are we facing lack of skills, but our competitiveness when it comes to where the rest of the world has just suffered such a significant setback. Do you see this potentially as a stepping stone for us to bring back those skills in our communities? And of course, that could well have a multiplier effect.
That's exactly our focus, Kathy. Imagine if we could be taking smaller items that doesn't require a huge skill level, but we are being able to manufacture them in our townships where women are working in their own spaces, being able to still have a supervisory eye on their children and the community. It, first of all, protects the community from the social ills that they are exposed to. And secondly, that there's money that's being filtered into those communities that are now being able to link to the manufacturing industry. So I really think that it's time that we all look at how are we consuming? Are we buying locally? How much of our attire and apparel is being manufactured locally? And we need and we appeal to consumers, especially now over this Christmas time, buy local, because this is what our economy needs at this time. And again, when we look at the implications of imported garments, it just doesn't make sense in our economy right now. So yes, this is our focus. We need to look at the manufacturing industry very seriously because it is the fastest way we can gap in opportunities to earn.
Rayana Edwards, let me thank you so much for your time and all the best at COP28.
Thank you.